What is good, YouTube? It's your boy the Lost Vax, man. Today I got another video for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little minute with school and work and whatnot, but you know what I'm saying, we back to it. You know what I'm saying? So today we got 4 crazy stories that prove Larry Bird is the toughest player in NBA history, man. Now, probably like 3 months ago, I probably did a video on Larry Bird, and that's actually my highest viewed video. So I'm gonna actually leave that video on top, on either side, wherever that will be, so y'all can go check it out. You know what I'm saying? So you know, everybody commented, liked it, and the views and whatnot. I decided to do another one. So we'll see how this one does. If you guys want me to do more NBA videos or like NBA videos with certain players or whatnot, just comment section down below, man. You know what I'm saying? Just leave it down there. But yeah, man, before we start the video, if you haven't done so already, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. Don't forget to hit that post notification bell every time I drop a video. All my social medias are down below as well, man. And if you guys want to go check this video out for yourselves, man, it's going to be down below in the description as well. So, let's get into it.
The stories about Kobe Bryant, and most of us have actually seen with our own eyes how incredibly tough the guy was, trying to put on a freshly sprained ankle to will the Lakers to the playoffs, winning the championship with a fractured finger. He's got a great case for being the toughest player in NBA history. But then there's Larry Bird, and many people don't know it, but he might have been equally as tough, if not tougher, than Kobe Bryant when it came to pain tolerance. Bird was such a warrior that he often didn't even like to let the team staff know he was hurt. That is until later in his career when his back had deteriorated to an unbearable point. And because Bird was such a warrior, today I want to tell you guys 4 crazy stories about Larry Bird's insane level of toughness. What's up, NBA fans? Dom 2K on the mic, and you've probably seen the shots of Larry Bird torturing himself later in his career when his back was forcing him into retirement, but you might not know what allowed him to deal with that pain in the first place. It turns out Larry was dealing with physical ailments even before he entered the league. Before he'd ever played a game with the Celtics, he actually had his knuckle shattered by a baseball that put his professional career in jeopardy. But because he's Larry Bird, and Larry Bird is from a different planet, he was able to put together a top 10 NBA career despite not ever having the same shooting touch before he shattered his knuckle. Wrap your mind around that for a second. Larry Bird accomplished everything he did in his career, and he said out of his own mouth that he never had the same feel for the basketball after the knuckle injury. But as it turned...
Yeah, that's crazy too. I'm going to just say this real quick. He mentioned about Larry Bird being top 10 despite everything he had to go through his whole career. I'm just going to also add on, even with his longevity. I mean, his longevity is not even that long. Larry Bird probably had like 9 great years. Compared to other top 10 players, he doesn't have that longevity. The fact he's even in the top 10 discussion is wild. That just shows you how great he even was. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. But yeah, I just had to throw that out there.
He'd endured throughout his career. Let's jump into it. Number 4, hole in the face. I figured we'd start off with something crazy we've seen before. Remember when Russell Westbrook fell down after his free throw and got a hole kicked in his jaw? Yeah, that left a lot of us wondering if Westbrook was actually Android a human, because he got up, moved his mouth around a little bit, and finished up what was left of the game. Luckily for him, that was only about 1 second of game time. However, it turns out that 33 years earlier, Larry Bird actually had already accomplished his superhuman feat, and surprisingly, he did Westbrook one better. I originally thought there wasn't footage of this on YouTube, but I'm so thankful there was, because you need to witness how brutal this was. In a 1982 game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Larry Bird drove left to the basket and tried to make in a routine jump shot. It clanked off the rim, Bird went up to rebound his own miss, and was violently elbowed by power forward Harvey Catchings. Where Westbrook's injury was an accident by his own teammate that didn't even look too bad initially, it's a bit difficult to look at this footage and say it wasn't on purpose, and you actually cringe a bit when you see how hard the shot was. The elbow practically knocked Bird out and left him lying on the floor for several minutes as he looked seriously injured. From what I can tell in the tape, the injury appeared to happen before the end of the 3rd quarter, because Larry Bird went back to the locker room and came back out before the period had ended. In the 4th quarter, playing with what we now know was a fractured zygotic arch, Bird would score 8 more points, including a poster dunk, 2 assists, adding some defense and hustle plays, as he was even shoved out of bounds during one of the possessions. His efforts led the Celtics to a narrow win, as he finished with 16 points, meaning he scored half of them with a fractured arch in crunch time. And even though we can't see it on the grainy 80s footage, Bird's jaw was depressed inward the same way Westbrook's was. After Larry left his heart on the floor for his team, he was sent to the hospital where doctors had to drill a hole into the side of his face and insert a medical tool to pop his zygotic arch back out.
Damn.
If social media hadn't been around with clear footage back in these days, this performance would probably be a lot more famous. We were shocked to see Westbrook standing on his own with a hole in his face. Imagine watching Larry Bird play an entire extra quarter while leading his team to the win. Number 3, just give me a beer. It's understandable that Larry dealt with injuries like back problems and broken bones in the face. Those things just tend to happen when you're crashing into the floor and whatnot. But when Larry Bird had a toe infection, it really seemed like somebody was just testing how much he could take before he finally sat out a game. In the year 1985, Bird reportedly had a serious pain going on in his toe for 3 weeks that he played on, and he wouldn't bother to get it checked out because, again, he didn't like to let anybody know he was hurt. Finally, he let the doctor look at his foot, to which it would be found that Bird had a toe infection that would require his toe to be cut so the infection could drain. The doctor insisted that Bird take a shot of Novocaine to ease the pain because the infection was actually between his toes, which was obviously going to hurt a lot. And then Bird responded, "Just give me one of those beers over there." So he used that as his pain medication. The doctor cut 2.5 inches into his toe to let the infection drain. Larry wrapped up the foot and played the exact same night. Unfortunately, I can't find any kind of information on when.
Nah, that's. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit's different, bro. Bro, that's wild, bro. I've never heard of no player do some shit like that, bro. Like, even today, bro, I never heard no player be like, "Oh man, let me get some of that Casamigos, bro, before getting like your like fluids drained out for something." This is right before a game too. This is insane, bro. This is insane, bro.
This game was, who it was against, or anything like that. I can't even see how he performed. But when he got done with the game, the wrap was obviously soaked in blood, and he was in considerable pain during the game. If it's anything like the other ridiculous games Bird had after some kind of injury that should have had him sitting for days, it's safe to say he performed well. But the fact that he played with a 2.5-inch cut into his toe with no pain meds is impressive enough for me.
Yeah, that's wild. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he played with a torn ACL. Shoot. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he played like with a torn ACL. Maybe a ruptured Achilles. You feel me? I know he probably wouldn't walk, but I wouldn't be surprised. You feel me?
Number 2, double vision. A lot of people can't even shoot when there's just one basket sitting still. So imagine trying to play in a professional game when you fractured your eye orbiter and you're seeing 2 baskets. Now, the injury itself sounds pretty comparable to what Derrick Rose had not too long ago. The difference here being that Rose got hurt before the season and was able to get his problems to a manageable point before playing in a real game. Bird, however, would not be so lucky. In the 1988 game against the Cavaliers, Bird was on fire, having scored 13 points in the first quarter. But when he spun away from Craig Elo with a clear lane to the basket, Del Curry, of all people, would rotate and hit Bird with a violent elbow to the side of his face. Kind of ironic that before Del was raising the greatest shooter of all time, he was apparently trying to take out the best one of his generation. Anyways, Bird sustained a fractured eye orbiter that again kept him on the floor for minutes. He went on to the locker room for treatment, came back out like he had done 6 years earlier, only this time he would score 18 more points to put the finishing touches on a 31-point game that included 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals on 11 of 20 shooting. But the stats weren't even the most impressive part. According to Larry, he played the rest of this game with double vision, and as he described it, he saw 2 baskets for the rest of the game, leaving him to guess which one he had to shoot at. But that's not the best part either. Not only did he light Cleveland up, but we know double vision doesn't go away after one game. As we've already established, if there was any other option than to sit a game out, that's what Bird was going to do. He ended up playing 4 more games with goggles that I'm not even sure anybody really knew he wore. And in those games, he scored 36, 30, 28, and 34 points. In typical Larry Bird fashion, he shot a staggering 55% from the field with that. Violent elbow, fractured eye orbiter, goggles, elite scoring, hitting on over half of his field goal attempts. Again, he's Larry Bird, and Larry Bird is from another planet. Just to add some gore to the story, apparently after the Cleveland...
Yeah, I'm getting a sense that, you know, with all this physical, and maybe it was just the era that he played in, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s and whatnot. I'm getting a sense that, you know, some of these like hard hits he's taking to the ground, man. I'm just like thinking might be a little intentional, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let me stop. I don't know, maybe, but I'm just wondering.
He went to blow it, and his eye bulged out a bit. Just
what the hell?
Day in the life of Larry Bird, I guess.
Oh
Number
nah.
1, Celtic
That's
Pride.
that's different, bro. I ain't gonna cap out. That's yo, this dude Larry Bird, bro. Bro, is he alien, bro? He gotta be an alien, bro. No way.
You hear all this talk about Celtic pride anytime we speak about their history, and Larry Bird contributed in big part to that as his career was wrapping up. Possibly the most famous scene from the ending of his career is the one we've all seen. Larry was diving for a loose ball, goes crashing to the floor as his head bangs against it violently, and he just lays there as if his body couldn't take it anymore. Truth be told, it really couldn't. Bird was dealing with insane back issues by this point in his career, and it was through sheer determination that he was even playing by this point. However, the story behind this scene is that not only was Bird's back locking up on him, but the shot he took to the head actually knocked him unconscious for a second and left him with a concussion that threatened to keep him out of the rest of an elimination Game 5 against the Pacers. By this point, Larry was 34 years old and had missed 22 games throughout the season, and his best days had been stripped from him by an ever-deteriorating back. He sat in the locker room debating whether to go back into the game as Boston had lost their edge without him, and most of the way through the third quarter, the advantage was with the Pacers. When Larry asked the doctor for advice, he said he should be done for the day, but by this point, we all know Larry just wasn't built like that. He was still breathing, so he went back into the game with the Celtics down by 3, while they were being cracked over the head by Chuck Persons, I might add. With Bird back in the game, Boston would go on a ridiculous 33-14 run and went on to win the game by 3 points, sending the Pacers home for the playoffs. Bird finished with 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting 63% from the field. But again, that's not the most shocking part of this story. According to teammates like Robert Parrish, when Bird hit the floor, they weren't sure he was ever going to play again. Remember that this happened at the end of Bird's career, and after back surgeries and having to lay in a fiberglass brace for hours just to be well enough to play, some thought that the fall he took meant the end of his career. And it probably would have been if Larry Bird was from Earth, but instead, he went out and put up one of the most memorable playoff performances of all time. The kind of performance that really makes you sad that his career was really cut short by injury. So there you have it. These were 4 crazy stories that prove Larry Bird was likely the toughest player of all time. The crazy part about it, after reading the book he wrote with Magic Johnson and researching a little bit, I could have easily told 10 or more. The truth that people don't really talk about in terms of Larry is that despite his amazing career, it was truly only a shell of what he could have been. As early as 1985, only 6 years into Larry Bird's career, he was already experiencing back issues that resulted from him doing concrete work around his house that he could have paid someone else to do. But that's just who Larry was, an incredibly hard worker that prided himself on being the same type of soldier his father was. Larry cherishes a story about his father when he came home one day from work and had a busted ankle. The next day, the ankle was so bad that Larry had to help him put the shoe on, and his father went right back to work. It was the kind of example that led Larry to play through the ridiculous pain he began to experience really only a short way into his career. Bird played a total of 13 of the most memorable seasons any NBA player could produce. But imagine one of our modern stars only lasting 13 years. LeBron is already on his 14th campaign, Durant is already on his 10th, but what if those guys only played to 13 though? That's just for perspective of what a flash Bird's career really was. And we're lucky that for that short amount of time, he had the high pain tolerance that he did. Because if he was actually human and sat out those games that anybody else would have sat out, we would have likely seen even less of him. So, in conclusion, I think Bird is proof that there is life outside of Earth, and we really aren't alone. Somewhere out there is the planet Larry Bird came from, where there's extraterrestrial life that apparently doesn't feel any type of pain. Shatter their face, knock them out, just give them a few minutes and they're right back on their feet ready to play. And if they're generous enough, maybe they're going to send another one like Larry to Earth to play in the NBA in the future. But if that doesn't happen, I'm very happy that Larry Bird was a part of NBA history. So I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you learned something. Leave your favorite Larry Bird story in the comment section because I'm pretty sure you guys have some. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications on my video. I'm Dom2K and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's a cool little video, you know what I'm saying? Nice little short, sweet video. But yeah, just to sum it up, really, yeah, man, Larry Bird definitely died for the cause. I truly believe Larry Bird definitely died for the cause. Another player I can compare him to in terms of what he had to put his body through was definitely Cam Newton, especially in his Carolina days. Also died for the cause and seeing where he's at now, you know. But, man, Larry Bird's a warrior, man. I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't play through no back injury. I mean, I probably had, like, a couple of days where, I had, like, my back was just killing me, man. And it's just, like, man, I can't go through it. So, imagine we had to go through that. Like, how'd I say it? Like, for him to go through that for some amount of time, for years, and still put up the stats he did with the accolades and everything like that, to even be top 10 all time, even with the short longevity that he has, 13 years, is just wild, man. But man, give props to Larry Bird, man. That dude's insane, bro. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. If there's any other videos you want me to react to, whether it's the NBA, NFL, any player, you know what I'm saying, just hit my comment section down below. This is actually a very interesting video. This is very informative. So if you guys want me to do more of these, man, like I said, comment section down below. Follow my social medias, all of them are down below. Anything else, yeah, this video also gonna be down below, man. So without further ado, I'm gonna head out.